A medieval monastery, a house of stone and silence, standing alone at the edge of a dark forest, somewhere in Europe, some 800 years ago. The world outside its walls is uncertain. Kings rise and fall, harvests fail, roads are dangerous after dark. But inside these walls, life moves slowly, and it moves the same way it moved yesterday and the same way it will move tomorrow, hour after hour, season after season. A rhythm so steady that once you fall into step with it, the mind begins at last to grow quiet. So let us step inside. There is no hurry, there never is here. It begins, as everything here begins, with a bell. It is long before dawn. The sky is still black and cold and scattered with stars. In the dormitory, a long, low room of stone, the monks are sleeping in their robes on narrow wooden cots. And then from the tower, a single bell begins to ring, slow, patient, unhurried. No one shouts, no one hurries them. The bell simply rings, and one by one the monks rise in the dark. They have done this every night of their lives. Their feet know the cold stone floor. Their hands know the way along the wall. They do not need light to find the stairs because their bodies have walked these same steps 10,000 times before. They move down a worn staircase, the stone dipped in the middle from centuries of quiet feet, and out along a covered walkway into the great dark church. And there, in the deep of the night, while the rest of the world lies sleeping, they begin to sing. This is the first of the day's prayers. They call it vigils or matins, the night watch, the oldest and the darkest of the hours. Their voices rise together, low and even, a slow chant with no rush in it and no strain, filling the cold air of the church, drifting up into the shadows of the roof where the candlelight cannot reach. You do not need to understand the words. The monks themselves have sung them so many times that the words have worn smooth, like river stones. What matters is the sound. Low voices moving together in the dark, hour after hour, for hundreds of years. Let that sound settle over you now. Let it be the last thing between you and sleep. The whole of life here is measured by these bells and by these prayers. Not by clocks. There are no clocks, not as we would know them. The day is divided instead into holy hours, and the bell calls the monks back again and again from whatever they are doing to gather and to sing. After the night watch, they may return to sleep a little while, and then the bell rings again at first light for the prayer they call lauds, the praise of the dawn, then prime as the sun clears the horizon. Then through the working day, the bells of terce and sext and none, marking the mid-morning, the noon, the mid-afternoon. Then vespers as the light begins to fail. And finally compline, the last prayer, sung in the gathering dark before sleep. 8 times a day, and once again in the deep of the night, the bell calls and the work stops, and the monks come quietly back to the church. Whatever they were doing, digging, writing, baking, mending, they set it down and they come. Imagine a life shaped like that, a life in which you are never more than a few hours from stillness, in which no matter how the day has gone, you are always called back to quiet. There's a great mercy in it. The day cannot run away with you. It is held gently in the palm of that slow ringing bell. Breathe with it now, in on the rising of the bell, out on its fading. There is no hurry, there never is here. At the heart of the monastery lies the cloister. If you have ever seen one, you will not have forgotten it. Picture a square of open ground, open to the sky, with a covered walkway running all the way around its four sides. Slender stone columns, rounded arches, a path of worn flagstones, smooth as glass beneath the feet. And in the center, open to the weather, a small garden, a patch of grass, perhaps a single old tree, perhaps a well, its water dark and still and very deep. The cloister is the still center of the whole house. From it, doorways lead everywhere, to the church, to the dormitory where the monks sleep, to the refectory where they eat, to the great warming room, to the room where the books are kept. All the paths of the monastery cross here, in this quiet square under the open sky. And here in the covered walk, the monks move slowly through their day. Some walk in pairs in silence, some sit on stone benches reading, some simply stand and look at the garden and think their own long thoughts. The sun moves across the flagstones. A bird lands on the rim of the well and drinks and flies away. The shadows of the columns lengthen and shorten and lengthen again, hour after hour, day after day, year after year. Nothing here demands anything of you. You may walk, you may sit, you may simply be. Let yourself rest a while in that quiet square under the slow-moving sky and feel how little there is that needs doing. Off the cloister, through a low doorway, lies one of the most precious rooms in the whole monastery, the scriptorium, the writing room. This is where the books are made. You must understand that in this age there are no printed books. Every single book in the world must be copied out by hand, one letter at a time, by a monk sitting at a sloped wooden desk. And so here, in the best light the monastery can offer, the copyists sit and work in silence through the daylight hours. Watch one of them now. He is bent over a great sheet of prepared skin, parchment, made from the hide of a calf or a sheep, scraped and stretched and rubbed smooth until it is pale and soft as cloth. In one hand he holds a quill, cut from the wing feather of a goose. Beside him sits a small horn of dark ink, and a knife for sharpening the quill, and a smooth stone for pressing the page. He writes slowly, he must. A single letter formed wrong cannot easily be undone. He copies each word from the book open before him, dips his pen, forms the shape, lifts it, dips again. A good scribe might complete only a few pages in a day. A great book, a Bible, say, might take a single monk the better part of a year, or longer. And yet look closer and you will see that he does more than copy. In the margins, in colors ground from stone and earth and precious things, deep blue and green and the warm shimmer of gold he paints. Vines that curl around the letters, strange small creatures peering out from the corners of the page. A single great letter at the start of a chapter, grown so vast and so ornate that it becomes a little world of its own, full of birds and beasts and twisting gold. No one will ever thank him by name. Most of these monks never signed their work. We do not know who they were, and yet their pages have outlived their empires, their languages, their kings. Some of the books copied in rooms like this one, by hands whose names are lost forever, are still with us today. Still turning, still glowing, 800 years on. There is a lesson in that perhaps for another day. For now, just watch the pen move. slowly, patiently, one quiet letter at a time, and let your own thoughts slow to the same gentle pace. Not all the monks spend their days with books. A monastery is a whole small world, and it must feed itself and warm itself and keep itself standing. And so most of the day, for most of the monks, is given over to work, plain, honest work with the hands. There is a rule that governs this house, written long ago by a monk named Benedict, and it holds that idleness is an enemy of the soul, and that the brothers should live by the labor of their own hands. And so they do. In the kitchen, one monk tends a great fire and stirs a pot of pottage, a thick soup of beans and barley, and whatever the garden has given. In the bakehouse, another draws round dark loaves from the oven with a long wooden peel, and the warm smell of bread drifts out across the yard. In the garden, monks kneel between the rows, thinning the herbs, pulling the weeds, their sleeves rolled back, their hands dark with good earth. Out beyond the walls there are fields and orchards, and perhaps a mill turning slowly on a stream, and beehives in a sheltered corner, humming in the sun. There are sheep to be watched, and cattle, and a pond of dark fish for the days when meat is not allowed. Everything the house needs, the house makes or grows or tends with its own patient hands. And all of it is done in a kind of quiet. There is little chatter. The work itself is the thing, the hoe in the soil, the dough beneath the palms, the slow turning of the mill wheel. Each task done carefully and without hurry, as though the task itself were a kind of prayer, which here it is. Let the rhythm of that work move through you now, the steady, simple, useful motions of hands that are in no hurry at all. There is a deep peace in work like that, a peace you can rest in. No one here remembers any longer exactly how it all began. There are stories, of course, there always are. They say that long ago, 300 years perhaps or more, a handful of monks came walking out of the south with little more than the robes they wore and a few precious books wrapped in oiled cloth. They were looking for somewhere remote, somewhere quiet, somewhere the world would leave them alone. And they found this place, a fold in the hills beside clean water at the edge of the great forest. There was nothing here then but trees and stones and the sound of the stream. And they knelt down in the wet grass and gave thanks and began, with their own hands, to clear a little ground. The first winter, the stories say, was very hard. They lived in huts of branches and mud. Some of them did not live to see the spring, but those who remained kept on. They felled the trees and split the stone and raised first a small wooden chapel, and then slowly over lifetimes the great stone church and the walls and the halls that stand around you now. Not one of those first monks is remembered by name. Their faces are gone. Their voices are gone. We do not know who they were or what they hoped for or what they feared on those first cold nights at the edge of the dark wood. And yet the house they began with their bare hands is still standing, still warm, still full of quiet voices and slow bells 300 years on. There is something in that worth carrying gently down into sleep, that the quiet work of forgotten hands can outlast everything, that you do not have to be remembered to have mattered. Let that be a comfort now as the dark comes on. Every house must have someone to hold it. Here, that someone is the abbot. He is not a lord, though he holds great authority. He is called instead the father of the house, and he is meant to be exactly that, a father. He is elected by the monks themselves from among their own number, and once chosen, he carries the whole weight of the place, its lands, its stores, its quarrels, its souls. He lives by the same rule as all the rest. He sleeps in the same kind of cell. He sings the same hours in the same cold church, but it falls to him to decide the hard things, when to be gentle and when to be firm, how to share out the work, how to comfort the dying, how to correct the one who has strayed without breaking him. And guiding all of it, holding the whole house steady, is a small, plain book. A book of rules written long ago by a monk named Benedict, who lived and died many centuries before any stone of this place was laid. It is not a grand book. It is a practical one, full of quiet good sense about how a group of ordinary people might live together in peace without tearing one another apart. How much to eat, how much to sleep, how to receive a stranger, how to listen. How to hold the balance between prayer and work and rest. Prayer and work and rest, held in balance, that is the whole secret of this place. And it is not a bad secret for the rest of us either, we who so often forget the third of those three. Rest. You are allowed to rest. You are meant to. Even the strictest rule ever written made room for it, so make room for it now. Let yourself rest. Come back with me now to a particular morning many years ago. There is a boy standing at the gate. He is perhaps 12 years old. His father stands behind him, one hand on his shoulder. They have walked a long way to be here, and they are both very quiet. In this age, a family might give a child to a monastery to be raised and schooled and made into a monk. It was not always a sad thing. For a boy with no land to inherit, it could mean a life of learning and safety and bread in a world that offered most people none of those. But it was, all the same, a parting. The boy would live here now. This would be his family. The great door opens. An old monk comes out and kneels down so that his eyes are level with the boy's and speaks to him gently. And the boy steps forward across the threshold into the cool shadow of the gate, and behind him, quietly, the door closes. At first, everything is strange to him. The endless bells, the long silences, the scratch of the robe, the cold of the church before dawn. He is homesick, and he cries some nights into the dark of the dormitory. But children are made to belong somewhere, and slowly he belongs. He learns his letters in the cloister. He learns the songs one line at a time. He learns which of the old monks are kind and which are stern and which will slip him an extra piece of bread. And the strangeness wears away, the way strangeness always does, until one day he realizes he can no longer quite remember a time when the bell did not order his days, and the great quiet house has become simply home. We all began somewhere strange once, and we all somehow found our way to feeling at home. Remember that softness now as you settle into your own familiar dark. Not everyone who comes to the gate is a boy who will stay. Most come and rest a while and go again. For a monastery sits along the old roads, and the roads in this age are long and hard and dangerous. And so the house keeps a hall for guests, a pilgrim on his way to some distant shrine, a merchant caught by nightfall between towns, a messenger, a beggar, a great lord with his whole retinue, or a single tired stranger with nothing at all. And the rule is clear and old, and it does not change according to who is knocking. Every guest is to be received as if he were Christ himself. The traveler is met at the gate. His feet, dusty from the road, are washed. He is given food and a bed and warmth, and most precious of all perhaps, he is asked for nothing in return. Imagine what that meant in a hard world, to be walking cold and afraid through a dark and lawless country, and to see at last the lamp of the guest hall burning in the distance. To know that there, whoever you were, you would be taken in. And the guests brought something back with them in exchange: news, word of the world beyond the walls of wars and weddings and the price of wool, and who now wore the crown. For the monks, sealed in their long silence, the traveler was a window onto everything they had left behind. They would listen in the little time set aside for it to tales of a world they had chosen gently to step out of. There is a lamp still burning somewhere for you too, a warm room at the end of the hard road. Let yourself arrive there now. Let yourself be taken in. Towards the eastern side of the house, a little apart, stands the infirmary, the house of the sick. Here are brought the monks who have fallen ill, and the very old, whose long lives are drawing at last towards their close. Here the rule of silence softens, and the rule of fasting softens, and small comforts are allowed that the healthy would never be given, a fire kept burning longer, a little meat to build the strength, a gentler bell. And caring for them is one of the most important monks in the whole house, the infirmarian. He is part nurse, part physician, part friend. He knows the old remedies which have been written down carefully in the books and passed from one infirmarian to the next across the centuries. For beside the infirmary grows a special garden, the physic garden, rows of herbs raised not for the kitchen but for healing. Sage and rue and fennel, poppy for pain and for sleep, mint and comfrey and the tall spires of foxglove. The infirmarian knows them all, when to gather them, how to dry them, how to steep them into the draughts and salves that are the only medicine this age can offer. Much of what he knows would be recognized even now as true. Much of it would not, but the care behind it is beyond question. To sit with the sick through the long nights, to ease what pain can be eased. To hold the hand of an old brother as his own long day draws down to its evening, and to send him gently on. There is a great tenderness in that, in the whole idea of a quiet room set a little apart, where the only task is to be cared for and to rest and to heal. You are in such a room now. There is nothing required of you here but to rest and to mend. Let yourself be cared for. Somewhere near the church, guarded and dry, is kept the greatest treasure the monastery owns. Not gold, not silver, books. They are few by our reckoning. A great house might hold a few hundred, where we would think nothing of a shelf of thousands. But each one is worth more than its weight in almost anything. Each one was made by hand, over months or years, in a room like the scriptorium we visited before. Each one is, in a real sense, irreplaceable. They are kept in a great chest or in a small room lined with cupboards, and they are counted and cared for and lent out only with caution. On certain days, the monks may come and choose a book to read through the season ahead. Their names are noted beside the titles, gravely, the way we might sign for something precious. And here is the quiet wonder of it. In these centuries, dark and troubled centuries, when so much of the old learning of the world was being lost, burned, forgotten, it was houses like this one and monks like these, copying and recopying in their cold scriptoria, who kept the thread from breaking altogether. The words of philosophers dead 1,000 years, the poems of vanished cities, the knowledge of the stars and of medicine and of history. Kept alive one patient copy at a time by quiet men in remote valleys who would never be thanked. So much was almost lost, so much came so close to vanishing into the dark forever, and it survives where it survives because someone somewhere in a cold room thought it worth the labor of saving. Let that be the last thought you carry down tonight, that the quiet keeping of small good things is never wasted, even yours. The bell rings at last for the one full meal of the day, and the monks file into the refectory, the great dining hall, to eat. But not as we eat. There is no chatter here, no clatter of talk. They come in silence and they take their places at the long wooden tables and they eat in silence still. The food is plain, bread and the thick soup of beans and vegetables and perhaps a little cheese or fish on the days it is allowed. It is enough. It is not meant to be more than enough. And while they eat, the hall is not quite silent after all. For high on the wall there is a small pulpit, a stone balcony reached by a narrow stair, and there throughout the meal one monk stands and reads aloud to all the rest. A passage from the scriptures perhaps, or from the life of some long-dead saint, or from one of the precious books of the library. His single voice fills the hall, rising and falling, while below him the brothers eat their bread and listen. There is a great calm in it, to share a meal in silence, in good company, while a quiet voice reads on, to need no words of your own, to simply be fed in body and in mind, and to let the reading wash over you like water. Let a voice read on for you now in just that way. You do not need to follow every word, you do not need to remember any of it. Let the sound of it hold you, gently, the way the reading held those quiet men at their long tables so many hundreds of years ago. And now let us walk quietly one last time to the far side of the church, where the ground slopes away, and the grass grows long, and the light is always soft. This is the cemetery, the resting place. Here lie the monks who came before, all the brothers who once rose to the same bell and sang the same hours and bent over the same desks and knelt in the same cold church. Every one of them was once as alive as the monks who walk the cloister now, and every one of them in his time was carried gently out here and laid down in the quiet earth among the others. The graves are plain, most bear no name at all, only a simple stone or a low wooden cross weathering slowly into the grass. The monks do not fear this place and they do not avoid it. They walk here sometimes in the evening, for they know that they will lie here too one day, and the thought does not trouble them, it steadies them. Because this is the deepest quiet the whole house has to offer, deeper than the cloister, deeper than the night. Here all the striving is over, all the work is set down, all the bells have finished ringing. Here at last is perfect rest, under the long grass in the soft light at the edge of the sheltering wood. There's nothing frightening in it. There is only rest, the oldest rest there is, and the deepest and the most complete. And every one of us is walking slowly, gently, towards a rest of our own, not tonight, not for a long time yet, but surely, and without any need to hurry. So do not hurry. Let the striving of your own day be set down here in the long, soft grass. Let it rest. There is nothing left now that needs doing. Perhaps the strangest thing to us about this life and the most precious is the silence. For long stretches of each day and through the whole of the night, no one here speaks at all. Not because they are forbidden to exactly, but because they have learned that words spent carelessly spend something of the soul with them. And so they keep their words few and their silence deep. When they must communicate during the silent hours, they use their hands, a whole quiet language of signs worked out over generations. A certain motion for bread, another for a book, another for water or fire or sleep. Whole conversations pass between them without a single sound, there in the shadowed cloister, while outside the walls the loud and anxious world goes on. Try to imagine it, a day with almost no words in it, no arguments to win, no news to hear, nothing to explain and no one to explain it to, just the sound of the wind in the high roof and the fire settling in the grate and far off the bell. We are not made for as much noise as we carry. Somewhere inside us there is a part that has been waiting a long time for a silence like this one. Let it have that silence now. Let the words in your own mind grow fewer and softer and further apart. There is nothing you need to say. There is nothing you need to think. You may simply lie here in the great quiet and let it hold you. And so the days pass, one very like the last, and the seasons turn slowly over the old stone walls. In spring, the cloister garden greens and the orchard fills with blossom, and the monks turn the dark earth of the vegetable beds. In summer, the fields ripen gold, and the days are long, and the work is hard and warm, and the bees are loud in the lime trees. In autumn, the harvest is gathered in, and the apples stored, and the smell of wood smoke returns to the yard. And in winter, in the long, dark, cold winter, the monastery draws in upon itself. The winters are hard here. There is one warm room and only one, the calefactory, they call it, the warming house where a fire is kept and where the monks may go in turns to thaw their aching hands before returning to the cold. The nights are very long. The dawn is late and gray, and the great church at the night office is bitterly cold, the monks' breath rising in clouds as they sing. And yet even the winter has its own deep comfort. The world is asleep under the snow. The forest is still. The fields rest beneath the frost. And the monks keep their slow rhythm regardless. The bell, the prayer, the work, the silence, a small warm point of order and patience, holding steady through the long dark, waiting without anxiety for the spring that they know from long experience will always come again. Year after year the seasons turn, and the same hands do the same slow work, and the same low voices sing the same old songs in the dark. Lifetimes pass this way. A boy comes to the gate at 12 years old and grows gray within these walls and is buried at last in the quiet ground beyond the church, and another boy comes to the gate and it begins again, and the walls stand, and the bell rings on. But now our own day here is ending. The light is failing over the cloister. The last of the sun is gone from the flagstones, and the garden is falling into shadow, and the well at its center is nothing now but a circle of darker dark. The birds have stopped, the tools are put away. The fire in the kitchen is banked down low to smolder gently through the night. And the bell rings one last time, soft in the dusk, for the final prayer of the day. Compline, the completing, the prayer that closes the day and gives it up to the dark. The monks come quietly through the shadowed cloister one last time into the church. And there in the near dark, with only a candle or two burning low, they sing the last slow chant of the day. It is a gentle thing, this final prayer, a prayer for protection through the coming night, for a quiet rest, for a peaceful end. Their voices are tired now and low and even. The words drift up into the darkness of the roof and are gone. And when it is finished, they do not speak, they do not linger. In silence, the great silence of the night, which will not be broken now until the bell calls again in the deep of the dark, they file out and back along the worn stone walk and up the dipped stone stairs to the long dark room where their narrow beds are waiting. One by one they lie down in their robes in the cold and the quiet. One by one their breathing slows and deepens and evens out. Outside, the stars wheel slowly over the tower. The forest is black and still. The stone walls hold the day's last warmth, and the whole old house sinks gently into sleep. There's nothing more to watch now, nothing more to do. The bell will not ring for a long time yet. So let it all go now, let the cloister fade, let the candlelight go dim, let the low voices trail away into silence. You do not need to hold on to any of it. Let your breath slow to the rhythm of theirs, in and out, slow and even. Let your body grow heavy and warm beneath you, the way the old stones hold their warmth through the night. There is nowhere to be, there is nothing to do. There is only the quiet and the dark and the slow turning of the stars over the sleeping house. Rest now. Sleep well. And when you wish to walk somewhere quiet again, some other still and forgotten corner of the past, you will always find another evening waiting for you here in the quiet. Good night.